Welcome back to 10-Minute Blitz, where I break down every single NFL game in about 10 minutes. Week 3 is in the books, and it was not short on exciting finishes, with 4 games coming down to a game-winning field goal. Speaking of tight finishes, let's start with the Ravens visiting the Lions in what was expected to be a shootout, with the Ravens eventually taking a big lead. Turned out to be the exact opposite. Let's jump to the third quarter. Lamar Jackson drops back on 3rd and 18 and finds Devin Duvernay wide open in the back of the end zone. The first half would end with a small 10-0 lead for the Ravens. Considering how good the Lions offense has looked thus far, it seemed likely they would be able to move the ball against the Ravens, who have given up a lot of yards this season. With 5:24 left in the third, Detroit showed signs of life with this DeAndre Swift 2-yard run down the middle. In the fourth, the Lions would not go out quietly. Their other running back in former Packer Jamal Williams stuffs it into the end zone for the 1-yard score to make the game 14-16. They would eventually get a field goal late, taking a commanding 17-16 lead, and give Lamar Jackson the ball back with 1 minute and 4 seconds with no timeouts. After taking 2 sacks, the Ravens found themselves in a 4th and 18 on their own 16-yard line. Jackson finds Sammy Watkins deep down the field. Instead of going out of bounds, he falls down at the Lions' 46-yard line. The Ravens clock it with 7 seconds left, but a missed delay of game call meant that Justin Tucker would be given a chance at an NFL record 66-yard field goal. What happened next, I'm sure you guys know.
It bounces off the crossbar, and it's good! Oh my goodness!
The next matchup was between two bad teams. The Falcons go to New York to face the Giants. I'm going to jump straight to the fourth quarter. With 12:54 left in the game, Saquon Barkley fearlessly leaps into the end zone to give the Giants the lead. Daniel Jones would convert the 2-point conversion and give New York a touchdown lead. The Falcons offense, who has truthfully struggled all season long, needed Matty Ice to make something happen. One of their bigger surprises of this year is Cardero Patterson. Take a look at this play on 2nd down. The guy is continuing to do spectacular things for this team all season long. 2nd and goal, an incredible run fake leads to this 1-yard passing touchdown to Lee Smith. A sack led the Giants punting on the ensuing drive, giving Ryan a chance to win this game for the Falcons. Patterson, once again, coming up big for Atlanta, takes this screen to the Giants' 48-yard line. In field goal position, Yang Hoku nails his 40-yarder. Falcons get their first win of the season, 17-14, against the winless Giants. On to the Saints traveling to New England. New Orleans was looking to get back on track, and they did exactly that. In the first quarter, Jameis Winston finds one of the best backs in the league, Alvin Kamara, for the 11-yard score. I recommend they do that more often, by the way. More than anything, this was just not Mac Jones' day. The kid had 3 interceptions today, including this pick 6 on the first play of the third quarter. Somehow this game remained close throughout most of the fourth quarter, but Taysom Hill barreled into the end zone with about 2:37 left on the clock. Saints bounced back for their 28-13 victory royale. The Steelers were looking to bounce back at home after a tough loss to the Raiders last week. There were a lot of turnovers in the early slate of games, including this interception from Joe Burrow, who carried his struggles over from last week. Big Ben seemed to catch the buck himself, and an incredibly athletic play by Logan Wilson caused this interception. That put Cincinnati in great field position, and Burrow would capitalize. He found Tyler Boyd for the first down, who somehow bounced off a Steeler defender like a pinball before diving into the end zone. Pittsburgh would not lay down easy, scoring on this nicely called tight end screen on 1st and goal to tie the game 7-7. Jumping to the end of the first half, the Bengals found themselves in field goal range, but that was not satisfactory enough for Joey B and crew. Remember, the 3-step drop back I admire last week, well, here it is again. Jamar Chase is going to be a special player in this league, I'm telling you. The Steelers found themselves down 2 scores again in the third quarter, and a costly mistake by Big Ben made things even worse. He threw another interception to Logan Wilson here. Burrow would not waste the opportunity. He finds his guy Jamar Chase wide open for another touchdown. Bengals take this one 24-10 in a surprising game. More division rivalries. The Colts carted out their injured QB Carson Wentz, who is desperate to find a win this season, but faced another tough matchup against the Titans. Tennessee got things going in the first quarter, finding former Colt Chester Rogers on the slant for a 6-yard touchdown. The Colts would not let this game get out of hand. In the second quarter, Naheem Hines gets the carry from the shotgun and runs to the left for the score to tie this one up 7-7. The Titans would respond on the very next drive. Off the play action, Ryan Tannehill finds a wide open Nick Westbrook. Ekine, who scores on the 18-yard route. Indy just couldn't quite pull it together Sunday, settling for 3 field goals in the contest. The same cannot be said for Tennessee. In the fourth quarter, Tannehill takes the shotgun snap and finds his running back, Jeremy McNichols, on the underneath route, and he goes untouched into the end zone. They would go on to win 25-16. Washington was huge underdogs to the Buffalo Bills going into kickoff, and things looked exactly like they were headed towards the status quo early. In the second quarter, the Bills already up 14-0, Taylor Heineke lost this ball into the hands of Jordan Poyer, who takes it deep into Washington territory. 2 plays later, Josh Allen throws this sick back shoulder throw to Dawson Knox, who gives his team a dominant 21-0 lead. Washington would show signs of life on their next opportunity with the ball. A screen pass on the right side to Antonio Gibson, who was taken 73 yards for the score. That would be their only highlight-worthy play for the 23-year-old, who tallied 31 yards on 12 carries. On the kickoff, a bizarre kick from Dustin Hopkins takes a huge bounce towards the kicking team, and Washington ends up with it. Moments later, on 2nd and goal, Heineke escapes from the pocket and takes it himself, diving into the end zone, and just like that, it's a one-score game. Unfortunately for Washington, the excitement would not last long. In the third, Josh Allen finds a returning Emmanuel Sanders, who finished the day with 2 touchdowns. Buffalo goes on to win 43-21. The Chiefs were at home hoping to shake off a close loss to the Ravens on primetime, but it would not be easy as they faced division rival Chargers. Kansas City carried their turnover bug right into this game at the end of the first quarter on a long drive. Demarcus Robinson fumbles off the catch, and the LA defense takes it past midfield to set up Justin Herbert. He would not disappoint. On 2nd and goal, he would find one of his myriad of weapons, Keenan Allen, who stuck right past the defense. Another long drive for the Chiefs, another turnover. This time, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. The Chargers say thank you very much. On 2nd and 12, Austin Eckler is left wide open in the flat. He takes the ball for the 16-yard score. The Chiefs are never out of games and came storming back in this one. End of the third quarter, the Chiefs were down 14-10, a wide receiver screen to Clyde Edwards-Helaire on 2nd and goal. He takes it past all the way to give them a 17-14 lead. The end of this game is where things got really crazy. Mahomes has the ball at 2 minutes and all 3 timeouts. On this third down, he tries just a little too hard. This guy refuses to throw a ball away, and he always wants to make a play. Alohi Gilman grabs the interception, and now the Chargers have a chance to win this game. They found themselves in field goal range on this 4th and 9 and elect to go for it. I couldn't believe it when I watched it. They get bailed out with a pass interference call. That would later set up Mike Williams for the 4-yard score to end the game. LA must really not trust their kicker. Chargers win 30-24. Arizona traveled to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. The magician Kyler Murray got things started in the first quarter with this nice fake handoff for a wide open touchdown. By the way, the celebration he does after has nothing to do with Star Wars, apparently. Guy claims he has never seen it. I don't know why people correlated, meditation with Yoda, but that is besides the point. The Jaguars would not lay down at this one. Going into the second half, Matt Prater attempted a 68-yarder. I didn't even know why they would do this. Jamal Agnew takes the missed field goal 109 yards down the field, which I believe is ties an NFL record. That score put the Jaguars up 14-7, and a big upset was seemingly starting to brew. The excitement would not last very long in the second half. Take a look at this play at the end of the third quarter. I mean, you have the lead going into the fourth, theoretically, and Urban Meyer's big idea was to take a flea flicker targeting a receiver at the first down marker. Lord Almighty, Byron Murphy takes it all the way. Cardinals take it 31-19. The Bears look to create a lot of excitement in Chicago as they travel to take on the Browns, with Justin Fields getting his first career start. Well, they managed to do the exact opposite. The Bears would have 1 net passing yard, that's right, a passing yard. Fields was sacked 9 times in the contest. Cleveland really needed a victory like this because they had looked a little shaky to start the season, in my opinion. In the second quarter, Baker finds his tight end Austin Hooper on a seam route right at the end of the half. Not that this game was ever going to be a game, but Kareem Hunt also got in the action to complete a nice 29-yard touchdown to put this game out of reach. Browns dominate 26-6. Who could possibly top such a horrible offensive performance? Perhaps the Jets, who went to Mile High Stadium. They sure would try their best. Rookie Zach Wilson would lead the team to score a total of 0 points in the contest. A big old goose egg to go along with 2 interceptions. The running attack for the Broncos would be the name of the game here, starting off with rookie Javonte Williams taking it in for the 1-yard score. At the end of the first half, Melvin Gordon would get his own 1-yard touchdown. The Broncos would go on to sprinkle in a bunch of field goals. In this game, they win it 26-0. Let's take the action to my hometown team, the Las Vegas Raiders. They came into the day hoping for the franchise's first 3-0 start since 2002, which ended in John Gruden destroying them in the Super Bowl. This matchup with the Dolphins had trap game written all over it, and it looked like things were headed that way early. Derek Carr throws an errant pass in a bunch of open space. Elandon Roberts returns it 85 yards for the touchdown. On the next drive, the Raiders showed that they are once again the worst short yardage team in the history of football. On fourth down, they predictably hand the ball off right down the middle with Peyton Barber, who was stuffed, giving the ball back to Miami deep in Raiders territory. A few plays later, Malcolm Brown runs scot-free down the left side for the score. The Raiders would punt on the next drive, but an excellent punt by A.J. Cole put the Dolphins on the 1-yard line. Miami called one of the worst plays from their own end zone, and Casey Hayward promptly made the tackle for the safety. Suddenly, the Raiders had something going. Before halftime, the Las Vegas Raiders go all the way down the field, and on 2nd and goal, Carr sneaks the ball in to fullback Alec Ingold, who falls back into the end zone, and now they have the lead. Going into the fourth quarter, things would get crazy again in Allegiant Stadium. The Dolphins found themselves at the goal line with 10 seconds remaining after converting on 2 fourth downs earlier. Jacoby Brissett makes a nice move and shimmies into the end zone. After converting on the 2-point try, the game would enter into OT. Vegas scored a field goal on the first possession, and suddenly Miami was staring down a 4th and 20 to end the game. Somehow, Jacoby finds Mike Gesicki on the left sideline to convert. I was sick to my stomach. That drive ended in the Dolphins settling for a field goal. Carr had another chance to lead his team to victory, and he did just that. On 2nd and 15, he drops a perfect dime to Bryan Edwards. On the next play, Peyton Barber would bust a run to put Las Vegas in field goal range. The dude ended up with 111 rushing yards and a new career high. Raiders win another thriller in OT, 31-28. I expected a big shootout in the Seahawks-Vikings game, and it looked to be that way early on. DK Metcalf had 3 catches on the first drive of this game, including this nice 10-yard score that ended in him diving for the pylon. Kirk Cousins took Minnesota right down the field on the very next drive, who was secretly having an MVP season, by the way. He finds Tyler Conklin on the outside route to tie this game 7 apiece. Once we get to the middle of the second quarter, it was all Vikings, quite literally, because Seattle did not score after the beginning of the second. At the end of the second quarter, Cousin finds his prolific weapon, Justin Jefferson, by the right sideline to give them a lead. Minnesota goes on to have 3 field goals in the second half to win this game 30-17 to give both of these teams a 1-2 start to the season. This next matchup was somehow not the primetime game of the week. I'm talking about the Buccaneers visiting the Rams, probably the 2 best teams in football. Matthew Stafford got the ball rolling in the second quarter with this tight end screen to Tyler Higbee, who makes his way into the end zone. Tom Brady comes right back with a really long drive of his own, which concludes with this reverse handoff to Chris Godwin to make things even. It was at this point that the Rams took over offensively. Right before half, Stafford finds who else but Cooper freaking Kupp. The guy is always open. I don't understand. Let's go to the second half. Did you know that Deshaun Jackson still plays football? Well, apparently he does, and he is still fast as can be. He goes all the way for a 75-yard touchdown. The Bucs tried their best to keep up in this one. Tampa Bay scored on the ensuing drive to make it a 1-score game. With a 1-score game, the pressure was on the Rams. They didn't seem to get the memo. Stafford finds who else? Cooper freaking Kupp, man. They would go on to ride the wave. LA wins 34-24. Sunday Night Football, the Packers go to San Francisco to face the 49ers, where Aaron Rodgers has been decimated in recent years. In the second quarter, the Packers were already riding a 10-0 lead. The 49ers were expecting the pass, but Aaron Rodgers hands it off to his running back, Aaron Jones, who gets the 3-yard score untouched. With only a minute left, the 49ers had their best drive of the game thus far. They faced a 3rd and goal with only a few seconds left in the half. Kyle Shanahan elected to go with his rookie quarterback, Trey Lance, who runs unimpeded on the left side to get them on the board. San Francisco drove all the way down the field to open the second half. Jimmy Garoppolo finds Brandon Ayuk on the 8-yard pass, who brings the 49ers right back into this game. Let's go to the end of the game. The 49ers are driving down the field with the chance to take the lead late. Jimmy finds Kyle Juszczyk down the middle, and he's in. They would miss the 2-point conversion, and it left Aaron Rodgers just 37 seconds and no timeouts to march into field goal range. On the opening play of that drive, Rodgers finds Devontae Adams near midfield. They clock it with 16 seconds left. On the next next play, he finds who else but Adams again. I think they probably should have guarded that guy a little closer. They clock the ball with 3 seconds left, giving Mason Crosby a chance at a 51-yard field goal. The veteran nails it, and the Packers win 30-28. Football concluded with the Monday night game between the Eagles and Cowboys. I don't know what happened in Philadelphia, but they looked massively unprepared for this game. Nick Sirianni's squad committed 13 penalties on the night. Ezekiel Elliott got things going on the first drive of the game by muscling his way into the end zone on a 1-yard rush. The Eagles defense tried to make things interesting a couple of drives later when Dak was stripped in the end zone and Fletcher Cox ended up with the ball for the score. The game would essentially end after that. Near the end of the first quarter, Prescott finds a wide-open Dan Schultz for the 19-yard touchdown. Cowboys take a 14-7 lead. In the second, Elliott gets an inside carry from the shotgun formation and barrels into the end zone. That makes the score 21-7. Any hopes the Eagles would have at a comeback were squandered after Trayvon Diggs picks off Jalen Hurts and returns the ball 59 yards to make the score 28-7. Cowboys make a big statement in their 41-21 victory. That is going to do it for this episode of 10-Minute Blitz. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at Spencer the Wiz to keep up with everything I got going on. Until then, I'll see you guys next week.